Hi, I'm Dr. Manson. I'm just going to go over some basic exercises and practices to help build your sixth sense, your interoception sense, in case you struggled with the word because it's not a common word. So, internal, ception, receiving, internally receiving the body signals and feeling states of your body. Before we start with these practices, if you haven't read the tips in this article, I highly recommend you pause this video and read the tips first, because that will really help you to do these practices with greater skill. So why would we do this? Why am I even bringing this up? Well, by developing your interoceptive capacity, recent neuroscience has shown that there's many other capacities that can be improved by doing this. One is your capacity to empathize, which is the ability, roughly the ability to sense other people and notice what they're be able to better anticipate their emotions and their feeling states and what's going on inside to get a sense of what their own internal experience might be. And this could obviously be very, very helpful in any human interactions, whether it be just plain social interactions or even business interactions. You'll be better able to read other people, what type of emotions might be going on with them, and then be able to anticipate what they may say or how they may react to something that you may say. So extraordinarily helpful. So by tuning into your own body, you're kind of getting open to be able to tune into other people. Other things that are shown to improve by developing greater accuracy and precision with your interoceptive sense, decision-making capacity, problem solving, and emotional regulation. So very powerful capacities that you could develop by doing these type of practices. And we're just going to start with some basic ones just to help you get started. And what we're going to do is just going very easily, starting with our hands, because the parts that generally are easiest to sense are the parts of you that you wouldn't like a mild pinprick to go in. The more sensitive parts, if you had like a pin, like you really wouldn't want it in your hand, you wouldn't want it in your eye, you wouldn't want it in your lips. So these areas have a lot of sense receptors. That's why they're sensitive. So those parts are generally easier to develop that capacity from. So you can start with those body parts. But right now we're just going to start with our hands. And most people find it easier when they're sensing their bodies to close their eyes. And an interesting factoid is that roughly 68% of your brain's processing is devoted to visual processing when our eyes are open. But when we close our eyes, it frees up more of the mind processing to allow us to sense other senses like hearing and, in this case, our body sense. However, when I've been working with patients over the last 8 years, some people just tend to do better because their attention may wander a lot with their eyes open. And it's sensing, and if we're sensing different body parts, actually looking at the body part, like sensing your hand, and then sensing your wrist, forearm, so on and so forth. And that can start, it's like a training wheels aspect to allow you to get used to it, and then eventually you won't need to actually follow the actual body parts. You can just then be able to either keep your eyes open and just look ahead, or keep your eyes closed. So what we're going to do now is just to make it a little easier, is just intensify the sensations to just make it easier to tune in to the body. So we're just going to clap our hands roughly about 10 times rapidly, and then stop, and then sense into our dominant hand. Okay, so I'm just going to clap. And then just close your eyes or open them, see what works best for you. And then just put your attention into your dominant hand. I happen to be a lefty, so I'm just going to put it into my left hand, but most people are right-handed. So just go ahead and put it there. And just drop your attention there and just let it hang out in your hand. And allow it to receive the sensations. Don't try to fish for them. Don't try to feel your sensations, because your nervous system, willpower does not help it at all. You're only controlling your skeletal muscles, and you'll just tense around it, which will usually dampen the effect. So just drop your attention there, hang out, and sense. And what I'm noticing right now is some tingling sensations and a little bit of a buzz underneath. Noticing some warmth in the back and all throughout the hand, just generally warmer. And just keep your attention there. And once you can sense that and you get a feeling, experiential sense of what it's like to develop and get into your sixth sense. Then switch it to your other hand. Allowing the sensations to come to you, noticing them. And once you're able to tune in there, then sense both hands. And then put it back into your dominant hand. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to demonstrate, and then you're just going to walk up, do an intentional walk up your arm. So just sensing your hand, and if you want to look at it, you can. And your wrist. Sliding your attention into your forearm. The elbow and the crux of the elbow. Your upper arm, bicep, tricep. Deltoid, shoulder area. And then just feel your entire arm. Again, letting go of effort, just receiving the signals, noticing. And then switch your attention into your other hand. And again, just like we did with this hand, going into this one, just noticing the sensations. And again, just walking up, wrist, forearm, elbow and the crux of the elbow, upper arm, bicep, tricep, again the shoulder and deltoid. And I'm just going to relax my arms and then sense both arms simultaneously. Allowing your attention to just drop into the body, into the arms, and receiving the signals that are just naturally being produced. Letting go of effort. And if any time your attention goes out chasing after thoughts, you simply notice that and gently boomerang it back into the arms. And it doesn't matter whether that happens 10 times, 1,000 times. There's another skill of catching when your attention jumps off into thinking and bringing it back. That's also an important skill and not something to get frustrated about, but noticing and allowing yourself to bring it back is an important skill. And so just sensing your arms, and now what I want you to do then is to bring your attention in the center of your chest. Perhaps you can feel the bone here, the sternum, and even allow your attention to go deeper, all the way to and feeling through to the spine. Then letting your attention slide down into your solar plexus area and allowing it to flow back into the spine. And then bringing your attention down into the belly, at around the area of the belly button, all the way to the lower back. And what I want you to do is just simply notice the sensations that are arising as you breathe. And rather than controlling or manipulating your breath at all, just allow your body to breathe you. And you can even be interested in what's it like when my body breathes me when I'm not controlling it. And just noticing the sensations as you inhale. You can feel the tightness in the skin as it gets tighter in the belly area and stretch sensations. And then noticing as the exhale, the contraction and relaxation and loosening. And you can maybe even feel deeper the lungs themselves as they expand in their elasticity and as they contract on the exhale. So just for the next few moments, just notice this wave-like effect of the breath. Noticing expansion, contraction, and just allowing yourself to be breathed by the body. And then you can just bring this to a close. So I just wanted to give you some basic tools to help you to get interested in doing these kind of sensing, and go ahead and activate your play circuitry and play with this. Go sensing other body parts. You can sense your head, your ears, you can get really detailed, see if you can sense the left side of your nose, right side of your nose, all that kind of stuff. Sensing the temperature difference in your breath and your nostrils when you're breathing, bringing it down into your legs and feet, and just play with this and try to describe what you're feeling using the descriptors in this article, and then maybe even building your interoceptive vocabulary even further, but staying very, what I call, going elemental, staying with primary descriptions, not abstractions like I'm feeling anxiety, but feeling like twisting, tensing, letting go, expansion, like as if you were a scientist describing what you're feeling. Letting go of interpretations and judgments and going right into the primary experience by just describing that and just allowing yourself to receive the signals. So just have some fun with this, and I'll develop more articles to start developing this interosense even further and helping with those aspects of decision-making capacity, problem solving, emotional regulation, and empathy. So I hope you had fun with this, and again, make it your own, and I look forward to talking to you soon again. Take care. Bye-bye.